Hi, I'm Christian Garnett, and this is Cape Media News Insights. The northern right whale is a critically endangered species that visits Cape Cod each year, but unless changes are made soon, their dwindling numbers will deplete to zero. I'm sure I speak for all Cape Codders when I say that I don't want to lose these giant mammals, so I invited three specialists with ties to NOAA and IFAW to come speak on the subject and about the first annual statewide Right Whale Conservation Day.
My name is Kathleen Collins. I'm our Marine Campaign Manager here at IFAW, the International Fund for Animal Welfare. We're an organization that works to help animals and people thrive together. And I run our North Atlantic Right Whale campaign, and I'm particularly excited that the state of Massachusetts has officially declared April 24th North Atlantic Right Whale Conservation Day. And we're very excited about this public display of support for this species because they're critically endangered. They're currently listed at less than 340 remaining in the population with less than 70 reproductive females. They're currently at a tipping point where we need to act now in order to actually save this species. The North Atlantic right whale has gotten themselves into this position where they're critically endangered because they face a variety of human-driven threats. Primarily, they face the threat of entanglement in fishing gear and vessel strikes. So collisions from vessels of all sizes are a leading threat for North Atlantic right whales. And their population really started to decline back in 2010 when their migratory pattern shifted out of the Bay of Fundy and into the Gulf of St. Lawrence, where they faced incredibly high rates of vessel strikes and entanglement in fishing gear because they were new to an area where there weren't any restrictions or measurements currently put into place to help protect them.
And what is now being done to prevent the problem from getting worse?
So two of the leading solutions that we advocate for here at IFAW to help conserve and protect the North Atlantic right whale is the inclusion and the introduction of innovative fishing gear, currently termed on demand, which is essentially a fancy way of saying acoustic fishing gear that removes one of the vertical lines that is used between the buoy and the trap at the bottom of the water. Another solution that IFAW strongly believes in is vessel speed regulation. So we know that the critical speed to reduce the threat of vessel strikes and deadly vessel strikes in particular for marine mammals is 10 nautical miles. So if all vessels go slower than 10 knots when they're in key areas or when whales are around, we know that the threat of vessel strikes will be reduced.
And you mentioned this removal of the vertical line.
The vertical line, yes.
Could you tell me more about that? That's for lobster fishing, right?
Exactly. So in a traditional lobster gear setup, you have a buoy on the surface of the water with a vertical line that connects down to the trap on the bottom of the ocean where the lobsters actually are caught. What on-demand gear does is uses a set of acoustics and GPS tracking to remove that vertical line. There's two different systems that are widely used right now. One is a lift bag system that removes the line completely. And another is a trigger system where you push a button and it triggers an inflatable ball that essentially carries the line upwards. So there's two different versions, but all of them reduce that vertical line.
That is so interesting. It makes sense that our fishing technologies and technologies in general would have to move past this way that they've been hurting the environment. No fisherman did that on purpose,
Right.
but that's how it is. And now we have to advance past that problem. And it looks like that's happening.
Exactly. And that's something that we really recognize here at IFAW. We know that these fishermen are not out on the water wanting to harm any whales. That's never the intention. What we really try to focus on in our work and in our campaign is working directly with those fishermen to help come up with these innovative solutions that work for them while also help to protect these whales. And so we firmly believe that this is a path towards greater conservation measures while really keeping these fishermen on the water, doing what they do best and making their livelihood while trying to conserve this vulnerable species.
Everybody is hoping that the right whale species can bounce back, but is that a reality? What is that path to recovery look like?
The path to recovery for North Atlantic right whales is a bit of a long and winding path, but it's one that is possible. Certainly if folks are able to take those actions that we're currently advocating for and talking about right now. The sooner we act, the sooner the species will be saved. So that road to conservation and eventually a population that is thriving really depends on collective action within multiple industries, whether it's the maritime industry, the fishing industry, or even the recreational and tourism industry. Everyone really has a part to play here in saving this species.
The statewide right whale conservation day, I think it's a great idea, but I'm wondering, how do you think it will actually help in the future?
I think the Massachusetts Right Whale Day has a really strong potential to be used as a public advocacy tool. So getting that greater awareness of the species of North Atlantic right whales, as well as the threats and the solutions that are out there to help save this species, is critical to actually making the difference. And so having a state recognized day really provides that platform for organizations to leverage and for collective actions to be taken on one set day and really measure that impact. If you're looking to learn more about what you can do to help save the species, visit rightwhales.org. We have some action opportunities on that site, as well as additional information on the species and what can be done in the future.